everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is another Vlogmas video. If you guys have been watching my Vlogmas videos so far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I have been trying to stay on top of my game with this, and so far I am being so successful, and I am so glad that you guys are seeing me just trying to really use my creative side and put these videos out. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is not your first time, welcome back. And if this is your first time, I would really appreciate it if you just subscribe, right? Just come on, be a part of this little family here. I am just so glad that I finally went and decided to start doing a YouTube channel. I've been having my YouTube channel for a couple years now, but if we're gonna be honest, I should have started much longer ago. But anyway, you guys are here, you guys are seeing me now. I'm having this opportunity to go ahead and do something like this, which I just thoroughly enjoy, and I have so much fun with it. And if you guys are new, just subscribe. You know, go ahead. Just press that little button. It ain't gonna take that long, you know, like a second, millisecond. Just do it. And if you did, thank you. But anyway, this video today is just talking about what 2020 has taught me. Now, 2020 has been interesting, to say the least. Everyone has gone through their own different situations in this year, but we've made it to this far, and I hope everybody is using whatever you've gone through during this time to make you stronger. And I just wanted to share with you guys what it's taught me, some things that I've reflected on, and feel free to definitely comment below and let me know some of the things that it has taught you this year. But I'll go ahead, and if you are interested to see what I'm talking about and hear what it's taught me, please continue watching. The first thing I want to say is that these things that 2020 has taught me personally doesn't mean that it wasn't something that I've already kind of knew, but it definitely either humbled me, put things into perspective, maybe reminded me. I was able to take the time out to really be able to just really reflect and use those reminders and use those things to make me a stronger person, not only just for me, but for my little boy. Oh, and if this is your first time watching, I do have a son. He's 5, his name is Jaden, so that's what I mean by little boy, my little baby boy. And I said, he's a baby, but he's 5, but he's my baby, so that's why I say baby. So the first thing that I have learned, or that 2020 has taught me, is that it's okay to be alone. It's okay. I am 31 years old. Of course, there's things that you may have planned in your life, or things that you want to go a certain way by a certain point. It doesn't always happen that way. And what I mean by alone, I mean in any aspect, because there's the idea of like, well, Ericka, you're not alone, you have your son. So yes, I'm not alone. During these times, during a pandemic, you have to be, for the most part, alone. If you are in the house alone, you're supposed to be quarantining. And if you have whoever's in the house with you, you're all supposed to quarantine together, but you aren't maybe necessarily interacting with the people that you would normally interact with. And so for me, I have my son, but there is the whole idea of a relationship. And so in 2020, I came to the realization that if I'm single, it's okay. If I'm not in a relationship, it's okay. Life isn't over. You'll go ahead and move on. Do I have moments still where it's just like, you don't want that? Of course, because I'm human. And I've always knew that it was okay to be alone, but sometimes I feel like with the pandemic, it definitely changes things, because you were definitely forced to be not necessarily around people who you would normally be around, whether it be someone you're in a relationship with or friends or what have you. If you're doing what you're supposed to do in the correct way to try to stay safe and social distance like you're supposed to, you're not going to be around people who you may normally be around. So whoever that loved one is, whether it's a friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, you have to be able to be used to not being around them in the normal way that you may be with them because of everything that's going on. So if you didn't ever have that moment before, 2020 reminded you that something like that could happen and it's okay. The next thing that 2020 has taught me is something that you should also already know, but it definitely makes you think about it even deeper. And it's to cherish the people that you love. I know people who have passed away due to everything that is going on in our world right now, and it wasn't expected, right? Of course, we all know that there is a time and a place when that time and place is going to happen, but no one knew necessarily that this was going to happen, and no one would ever think that this would be the way that they would lose certain people in their lives. And so for me, it definitely put it into perspective, because I've had 3 very close family members who had gotten sick in the beginning of the pandemic, and it was all at the same time. And these 3 people in my life were very, very important to me. They are the ones who made me who I am. They've raised me. Just the thought of possibly losing them all at one time, it was a lot. It was a lot for me. And I ultimately felt, you know, you don't want to think of the worst, but there is the possible worst, right? So if it's the worst case scenario, I felt like I was going to be alone, because these are the 3 people in my life who has molded me and taught me things to the way that I am supposed to be, or how I have became ErickaChanel. And if they all left at once, I don't know what I was gonna do. I have no idea. Luckily, they are all still here. Everything is fine. But it definitely put that reminder in my mind and in my heart that you must cherish the people that you love and care about, because you don't know. Tomorrow is not promised. It's not. And these are things that, of course, like I said, we all know this, but this year has really put it in perspective. And there's a lot of people who didn't even have that same result. Some people were able to go ahead and say, whew, well, my family member, my loved one is still here, but a lot of people did not. So it definitely taught me to definitely cherish those moments with the people that you love and care about. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that you care for them. Let them know that you're there for them. 2020 also taught me how to refocus on the things that you want, or I want. Using my channel for perfect example. I started my channel 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and there was a point in time twice where I was not consistent. I can say all these different reasons on why I stopped and why I was inconsistent, but at the end of the day, it just it didn't affect anybody necessarily but me. I had a goal, I had something that I was into, I let myself fall off from that goal, and that happened. I stopped. I wasn't being as consistent with my channel, but 2020 has definitely taught me to refocus that energy and get back on the grind. So mind you, even though I took a pause in 2020 from doing my videos, I wasn't necessarily completely 100% paused. I just wasn't uploading as often. I was still recording, I was still creating content, but I just needed that boost and that time to be able to refocus, get back into high gear, and hopefully the next time I take a break, if I take a break, it's because I can. Not necessarily because something got me off track. It's more so because I want to take a little small vacation, or I just can do it. But I really appreciate 2020 for giving me the time to really think and be able to refocus on the things that I want, the goals that I have set for me and my son. And I've been so thankful that I was able to go ahead and get my mind right back into high gear so that 2021 and the years beyond, I am on it. Doesn't mean it's gonna be easy, doesn't mean that there might be a time where I wanna give up, but I was able to definitely use this time to go ahead and rework my brain to get back into the things that I have more important to me or most important to me and the things that I want to achieve. Another thing, and this is the final thing that 2020 has taught me, is that I was able to use this year as a life lesson. And again, every year you should be able to take something from it and be able to learn, but this year I really believe it hit a little different. And I know people say that every year, oh, every year it hit a little different, but it literally hit a little different this year because of the times, because of what's going on. We had the pandemic and we had the election. We were able to really see from a whole different perspective. And I remember when they used to say, oh yeah, 2020 vision, all that, like that was so real. That was so real this year. I don't know about for y'all, but for me, that was so real. And so of course, every time you go through something, you're gonna have a life lesson, you're gonna take something from it to be able to build and become stronger. But I think we had a lot of that in this year, a lot. And so I was able to go ahead and use all the things that I've learned. And I'm telling you, just because I've learned a lot doesn't still mean I don't need to learn more. I'm still going through some things. I'm still learning. I'm still taking in perspectives of seeing different situations. I'll share one little personal thing with me. I learned for me, how do I want to go ahead and move forward, right? I'm 31 years old. I've been a certain way for 31 years because of things that's happened in my life. Do I need to make adjustments? What do I need to change? How can I become better? And also realizing that this is who I am. And it doesn't happen overnight. And just because you're that type of person, whatever it is, doesn't mean it's wrong either. Doesn't mean it's wrong. So I just feel like this year I've learned so much. There were some good times, there were some bad times, which is always gonna come up in life. But it's what you do with it and how you handle it that is most important. That's what 2020 has taught me this year. If you guys enjoyed my video, again, subscribe, like, comment, put on that notification bell, and feel free to comment below. Tell me, is there something that you've learned in 2020 that, you know, you didn't think of in a certain way, or it has a different outlook on life for you, or in general, just what have you learned for yourself in 2020? Again, this is another Vlogmas video that I am doing. I wanted to take out this time to just share something with you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next Vlogmas, okay? I'm doing good. I'm being consistent. Bye.